Welcome to Candid Conversations with Doc V, a collaboration with the unprecedented enterprise Win-Win Women, a global movement to reach, teach, and talk with women and girls around the world in 195 nations. As a woman heals, folks, the earth heals. Our mission is to care, connect, and collaborate with 3.9 billion women worldwide so all can enjoy a level of excellence in every area of their lives and be more joyful, fulfilled, and financially secure. We care by loving and inspiring all women. We connect as we teach and talk together. We collaborate to grow successful businesses. And to that end, Candid Conversations is where real talk about real experiences and circumstances is the norm and not the exception to help you heal, rebuild, and transform your life and online business from the inside out and put you back in business and on the road to defining your path. Hi, I'm Doc V, if you've not figured it out, the Pivot Maestro and your quarter woman. So welcome to Candid Conversations we're here to provide true transparency and love in conversation to help you navigate the waters of your life and think without that box. What is my why? Ladies, you are my why and my motivation to create a safe haven, to validate you and your experiences, and to provide hope and freedom in your thinking and being so that you may live the life and lifestyle you were meant to lead. All are welcome to the show. All welcome to the show. We have amazing conversation with topics focusing and running the gamut, focused on issues women face every day in life, the workplace, career transition, and business. Because we're all about transformation through transition and standing up purposed entrepreneurs. On Candid Conversations, it is our intention to always take you on a journey of revelation, reconciliation, and renaissance, having one mission in mind, to help you define your path and one message: you are mission essential. Yes, even as a woman, so don't let anyone tell you that you're not, because we're constantly grace under pressure, ladies, and the world needs our voices. So last week, let's jump in. Last week, we remixed heart health. This week is about aligning values. And on our Candid Conversations hot seat is Carolyn Choate, my good friend Carolyn. So let me tell you a little bit about her before we bring her onto the hot seat. Carolyn Choate is the marketing manager of Increase Your Impact. She loves creating sales for funnels for her clients. It came as a surprise to Carolyn, like a lot of us, right? When we fall into and discover our soul purpose. It came as a surprise because her degree is in poetry writing. And for most of her life, she didn't see how marketing was a form of storytelling until in her mid-30s. You know, Carolyn, she discovered the gift for seeing sales funnels in people's businesses. You know, she is capable of looking at your business and seeing the best path to guide strangers to become leads and leads to clients. Carolyn works with coaches, course creators, and other solopreneurs who would like clarity in their marketing, a simple way for new clients to find them, and a funnel that treats prospects with kindness and respect. Folks, let's welcome Carolyn to the hot seat, to Candid Conversations. Welcome, sis. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you.
Hello.
And folks, Carolyn is allowing me to interrupt her beach vacation. So, you know, she's a keeper. That's a sister. That's a soul connection. So I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you for being here, girl. So let's get going, because we have so much goodness, I think, in this conversation. We've been unpacking how to connect the dots in life to find our reason for being, you know, our soul purpose, and unleash those superpowers that we all have as individuals. We just don't recognize them as that, you know, or as business owners, we have these gifts that we were born with, or that skills that came along, and we just don't know how to wield them until we start to really kind of get into that understanding of what our purpose is. So, you know, we've been talking about what it means to see with that true vision, so that we can find our mojo and build our businesses around that and operate in that holistic heart health. I have personally found a huge part of our self-awareness journey and discovery is the identification and alignment of values to center, fuel, and strengthen us. So that's why, you know, I'm calling today's episode the aligned values remix. So until we know and understand these, we walk in darkness, and we're just trying to feel our way, and it's difficult to connect the dots, and we can fall for every little shiny object. Let's start the conversation here with the importance of identifying having personal values in your life. What are your thoughts on that? Wherever you want to jump in on.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we don't realize how important it is, and we think what's working for somebody else is going to work for us, and
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
there's a right answer, right? Like there's somebody out there has the right way, and if I just learn it, that'll be the magic bullet. Everything will magically work. And I definitely felt that when I was getting started in marketing. I hired a business coach who was one of these very aggressive, pushy marketing types, and he's teaching me how to build a sales funnel with that strategy, and it just was not working for me. And it's like, why is this not working? I'm doing all the things he's telling me to do. I'm doing it all perfectly and nothing's happening.
Yeah, yeah.
And I finally realized it's never going to work because it's not me. It's not true to who I am, and it's
Mm.
not going to connect with people because it's disingenuous.
Yeah, girl, look here. I promise I did not tell you, right, audience. I did not tell Carolyn like kind of where my thoughts were on this. Girl, you literally just took off on on a conversation. Actually, I'm getting ready to speak at an award ceremony. And I'm talking about this very thing, and I had the same and similar experience, where I hired a coach, coaches, multiple coaches, or service providers that ended up really not being value aligned, right? Because I had not taken time to really think about and identify my personal values. So we think about those statements or those value statements as related to institutions, religions, politics, organizations, right? The workplace. But I learned the hard way, like you, sis, right? I can't tell you how much money I spent. I won't say wasted. I used to say wasted, but it's lessons learned, hard, expensive lessons learned, but I gleaned from those experiences and just took the good, right, with the bad. But when you start to, let me back up. So these value statements that we normally think when we talk about value statements, we're processing it from like an outside in, right? Because it's usually that, that religious entity or that political affiliation or that organization or that workplace that you're working for that has a value statement of some sort, right? Whether you actually know about it when you go in or you don't. I call those outside in values. And most of us don't give a great deal of thought to how those values affect our ability to think, be, and choose our own path within these structures until if and when the rose-colored glasses come off and we're forced to consider our worth and our personal values. And those are the values, our personal values are what I call the inside out, right? Because we actually have identified them and then, we're following them, we're illuminating them and walking in them. So whether they're aligned, let's talk about that. I mean, what to do when you have that moment where that aha, that revelation and the glasses come off.
I think it's always a work in progress.
Mhm.
Experience will help guide you because it's pretty hard to sit down in a vacuum and just say, my values are this, this, and this. Like to some
Yeah.
extent, we know where we're drawn to and what lights us up and what feels like icky, that's not me.
Mhm.
But a lot of it has to do with living through it. And if you're working at a place where you're starting to feel weird conflicts, you're starting to dread waking up Monday morning, you're starting to
Mhm.
feel tension in your body and you can't put your finger on what it is. I think those are usually signs that you can examine with how are the values being lived out here and is it conflicting with my soul?
Mhm.
Because I know when I've been at jobs that were a bad fit for me, it really felt like my soul was dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
But it's
Um,
still a process, even now as I'm dialing in more and more about who is my ideal client, who do I want to be working for, it's still a process of not listening to other people's ideas about who that should be and
Mhm.
focusing on myself. People are telling me, well, you should be selling your services to people who are already seven-figure business owners because they can afford to pay you. And I sat with that and I sort of tried it and I was like, I just keep being led back to, I like working with people who are just getting started. I like
Mhm.
helping them with that like runway. And
Yeah.
so I can shut out those voices because now I know I have a stronger sense of who I am and what I want to be doing and how I want to contribute in this world.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I know what I had in mind also when I started off that last conversation. I love how you started talking about just the cookie cutter model.
Mm,
And, I'm going to be talking about that. It's nothing wrong with building something from scratch, you know, but I think all too often we're looking at these people because we're in the survival mode, we're in the managing, now they've achieved their success, whatever level that is, because I mean, it
mhm,
is, it's their story, it's their experience, and we don't know the fullness of it. But yet, so we'll, if they're excellent marketers or speak well or look a certain way and we want to do and be that, it's that whole conditioning coming back into play. But I love what you said about, it's not, one model is not for everyone, and I think when you start to know and identify your personal values, and you align that in your business with your business values as an entrepreneur, that only makes you more attractive, more, and just it just makes you a better, you're able to see without all of the and connect with the people that you're supposed to be connecting with, because honestly, all money is not good money. I know there were people who would argue with me about that, but just look at how many people have are well to do and how unhappy they are and how unfulfilled, and just going back to that whole soul conversation, it just seems like their soul has been snuffed out. So
yeah.
I love that you started that whole conversation, and really I had a similar journey, and just identifying, people told me I should be chasing folks who, make six figures and above, right? you know, but my heart, and my soul calls me to the masses, to those who are in, lower to upper class. So I think it's really identifying, yes, listen, take, glean what you can from others, but you really have to know what feeds your soul. Yeah.
Mhm, and put
Yeah.
it through that filter,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
deciding on a new thing. And just because it's marketing doesn't mean it has to be gross and pushy and all those things
Exactly.
that people turn away from marketing because of.
Yeah. Yeah.
The marketing that will work for you is the one that makes sense and aligns with you and your soul. Like, I watch this every day. When people are really authentically true to themselves, it is so powerful and so magnetic, and it
Hmm.
draws people to you. It makes them want to work with you, and especially, like you said, the right people,
Yes.
and not just people, when you attract the wrong people, then you have a headache and working with like, oh, there's so much trouble. It doesn't flow in the same way. But
Yes.
when you're true to yourself and you show that in your marketing, then any marketing technique can work. You got to pick the one that feels good to you,
Hmm.
because that's what's going to make it work, is your magic put into it.
Yeah. 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 So let's talk about what do you do when you finally push the top off the box and realize that you've been a jack in the box? You remember that little toy, the little clown? That was a little scary thing that popped out of the box. You wound it up. What do you do when you realize that you've been that jack in the box, and you've been either working for an organization, or you've been in a business model that's not aligned, or a partnership that's not aligned with the values promoted, much less, your personal values. Um, have you ever found yourself in a situation like that? And how did you pivot out of that?
Yeah, well, it's pretty tough. It probably happens to everybody in one way or another.
Yeah.
Um, I try to make a plan, an exit plan, whether it's from a traditional style job or a client that it's just not the right fit. It's kind of like, okay, how can we wrap this up, finish where we're at, and use that information to choose more wisely the next time, whether choosing a job or choosing a client, and saying, okay, I remember that when I started with this thing, these were the things that were making me think like, that I ignored. These were the red flags that I could have noticed and didn't. So next time,
Yeah, yeah.
you'll be sure to notice them. Next time, you'll know what those things are going to lead to. So, like you said before, take it as lessons learned and make your exit plan so that you can leave with dignity without burning bridges, and move on to something that's a better fit.
Yeah, yeah. And that's always, the hope. So yeah, yeah. It's a part of life. It's a part of the business journey. You're not gonna always get it right the first time. So I guess that's the important part here. But it's processing, the lesson or being aware, of the flags. Because I think because if we're heart-centered entrepreneurs, right? We try to be socially conscious. And sometimes that can cause us to ignore flags. So, it's
We
also,
want to help. We really want to be there for everybody. And
yes,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. You want to save the world. So, but yeah, I think that piece and just being self-aware, and a huge part of that conversations is what are you aligned with? And is this person the energy, being aware of the energy that you're getting from and you're receiving, and not just being in that whole survival mode and managing your reality. It's all about just connecting and feeling the energies that are draining you and that are giving you life, you know.
That survival mode that gets me in trouble every time,
Mm-hmm.
because then, I'm feeling scarcity, I'm feeling fear, I'm feeling like I've got to say yes to this client because there's not enough.
Yeah.
And then I end up with a client that I knew was not aligned with my values and not doing something I wanted to be doing. And then I'm miserable and trapped trying to finish this work for this person that I was like, I probably should have left myself open for the right people to be there. But
Girl, look.
the
Yeah,
scarcity, the fear, the what
yeah,
if there's not enough money? It's very powerful, very
girl.
scary.
And see, that's real talk. That is real talk. I can so relate. So, I find it refreshing that, one of your taglines as a marketing manager is, marketing funnels that align with your values. That as an entrepreneur, well, you've already kind of talked about how important it is to identify and hold on to and live by those personal values, born from the inside out, rather outside in. So, how do you have those conversations with your business to business clients, or
Oh
how does
yeah,
yeah, how does that
absolutely.
whole process work? And how
Yeah.
do they receive it? I'm curious to know how they receive it in your world.
People love it. People
Yeah.
absolutely love it because, you can find somebody to build you a sales funnel just about anywhere.
Mhm.
But people, especially the people that I want to work with, the people that are heart centered and have this mission for helping the world, they're really turned off by how sales funnels are presented and how they're created by most people.
Mm.
So when I can go in and say, it does not have to be that way. If it
Mhm.
feels icky to you, don't do it. Take that part out, put in a different part. It's really about making the path so clear, which is a gift to you and to your lead, so that they don't feel like you've just dropped them off in the middle of the woods to wander lost, right? You're taking them by the hand, you're guiding them, they can see
Yeah.
what the next step is. And the next step is you're building up the know, like, and trust, you're nurturing, you're
Yeah.
helping them to make a decision about whether you're the right person to solve their problem, rather than the high pressure tactic of like, get them on the phone and don't let them leave till they say yes.
Right.
Like, you
Right.
don't have to do that. And
Mm.
people love to hear that. They love to hear there is another way. And in fact, there's millions of other ways
Mhm.
because it's you.
Mhm.
Again, do the things that feel good for your marketing. Don't do the things that feel icky, that make you go, I guess I have to.
Yeah. Yeah, and really figuring out what works for you. I know those funnels exactly that you're you're talking about. That was one of those service professionals that I ran into last year. And it was just like the whole thing was just a sales pitch online, and there was no personality and yeah, it was just icky feeling, right? And so really tapping in once you know your alignment and you're working with individuals and helping them understand and get to their clarity, and understanding their passion and purpose. You can just do that's how when you start to touch people's emotions and get to that know, like, and trust, which I like to say know, love, and trust, because I mean you can like whoever, but you want people to love you, to become a part of the movement, right? I think also if we thought of our businesses that are, these sole purpose aligned, value-based businesses as a movement, because I tell you, it's so the world truly needs leaders and a movement that they can find and build and espouse their values without feeling judged or fear because it doesn't look like this model or that model. So yeah, I just absolutely love what you're doing with your clients and how you think this and just the good that you're up to in the world. What other thoughts or words of wisdom do you have for us today? Or like, is there anything like really pressing, on this whole aligning values remix and seeing the true vision?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
um, along the lines of being true to yourself. There's a lot of kind of cookie cutter things out there, like download my exact funnel that made this much millions of dollars. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna invest in things like that, you have to know how to make them your own and to bring yourself to them. Because if you just are using a template, it can sound like somebody else and it won't work because it will not have that alignment.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you're thinking about the message of your marketing and how you're interacting with new people, I like to remind people that you want the right people to be magnetically drawn to you,
Mm-hmm.
but a magnet also repels. And
Mm.
so it is okay to take a stand and be clear about who you are and who you want to work with. Because if there are people who are going, oh, that's so woo woo, or that's like, ugh, that's a great thing. Because the
Yeah.
stronger you're repelling people, the stronger the right people are watching that and they're seeing. And somebody else's criticism is going to be what they want, and they will be able to find you and see you because you're not afraid to put yourself out there as you truly are. I
Mm-hmm.
found that way actually with meeting my husband, because
Yeah.
I spent my whole 20s like trying to be a person that men will like,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't see the real me, so they couldn't fall in love with me. The
Yeah.
moment I dropped that and said, I'm just going to be myself and whatever happens, happens, that's when the right person was able to find me, because he could recognize me when I didn't have that mask up. So I
Yeah.
want you to do that in your marketing. Take the mask off, be yourself. And if you get some criticism, think, I'm on the right path, because the right people are going to be able to find me.
Absolutely. Girl, look, that was a mic drop. That was a mic drop. I love it, girl. That was so divinely inspired, because it brought in just that whole, the mask that we wear, that we're conditioned to wear because we're trying to be liked, we're trying to be loved, right? By all the wrong people, and I love the analogy to it. Well, the clarity in the fact that magnets, they attract, but they also can repel. That was powerful, girl. That is so true, but as long as your light is shining and you're operating, you're walking in your soul purpose, you know, people are going to see that light shining, So that's why I tell people to shine unapologetically. And girl, you are shining unapologetically, Carolyn, and I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. I just said you love that. Girl, I tell you, I don't know where time goes, but I tell you, I sincerely want to thank you for being my guest today on Candid Conversations. Any other thoughts you want to leave?
Oh my gosh, it's such a delight. I'm really glad that we connected. It felt like the universe, putting people in the right place and the right time. It's really always wonderful to get to talk with you.
Yes, absolutely, girl. And you gave me practice for my speech, my next talk that I'll be giving. So, audience, I hope you have enjoyed. I know you have enjoyed Real Talk with Carolyn Choate. Be sure to follow her on social media. Carolyn, what's the best way they can connect with you?
Instagram is Increase Your Impact, and my website is increaseyouриmpact.life. So either one of those is good.
Awesome, awesome. And so we will make sure they have that information. Folks, be sure to go back, watch this episode, pick up those nuggets, catch those diamonds, and tell a friend about the life-changing conversations we're having here on Candid Conversations. We're bringing you amazing guests, real world experience, real people with real talk, right? Not shiny object stuff. So bring a friend, spread the word, and your call to action today. And remember, I always ask you to do this in being in truth, transparency, love, and space for grace for yourself. Your call to action. Think about these two questions. What are your personal values? And are you living from the inside out or outside in? And remember that outside in is taking on the values of others, of entities that you may work for, organizations you might be a part of, or whatever. Are you living from the inside out, right? Are you seeking your truth, your soul purpose in life? Think on it. The revelations you received today, reconcile them with the path you're currently on, and move into your renaissance. It's time for you to redefine and shine unapologetically. If you are ready to pivot and join the Boss Nation, we are here for it and for you at Defining Paths. We invite you to explore our virtual home and our one-stop love shop, because we're all about love, at definingpaths.online for coaching, masterminds, masterclasses, service solutions. We have so much going on, and there is absolutely a place for you to help you connect the dots and for your holistic transformation. Remember, our mission is transformation through transition. We want you to be a part of the family, folks. A family who sees and cares about you, and that's determined to put you back in business. If you're looking to stand up your online business or you're looking for a transformation, check out our 90-day True Vision Challenge. Yes, 90 days, folks. In 90 days, we literally transform your business or we stand it up for you completely. Turnkey solution with a holistic solution. So you'll get the executive coaching along with the business development and transformation coaching and your business from scratch or transform. So check that out. And if you're here for a safe haven, inspiration, our personal betterment, we absolutely love it. And we welcome you home. And we thank you for spending time with us and my hot seat guest, Carolyn Choate, today. We do not take it lightly. So be sure to come back. And again, tell your friends. And we're also on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and Apple TV. I don't know if you know that, but know it now. And be sure to follow us on our social media at Pivot Maestro. That's Maestro. And check out our new podcast, Define Your Path, available on all platforms and the Business Innovators Radio Network. Folks, stay plugged in and join us next week. Until then, what is our mantra, ladies? Strong is the new sexy. So be strong in mind, body, soul, and business. Define your path and love the skin you're in. I'm Doc V, the Pivot Maestro, and always your corner woman. I am my sister's keeper, and I'll see you next week.